We all want to figure out who we are. And I think the reasonable first step to figuring out who we are is let's define who we're not. Let's pick out those people, places, things we do, habits we have that don't pay us back, that don't feed us tomorrow, that don't give us green lights in the future. A lot of successes I had were engineered by habits and choices I made that had consistency. That's what I call a science to satisfaction. I noticed what I was eating, who I was hanging out with, when I was going to bed, how I was approaching the day. There were consistencies that led to times in my life where I had more joy and more success, was catching more green lights. We also get those mystical green lights. Man, there's no reason, but there's a lot of rhyme. We met the right person, and damn it, if we'd have, left 5 minutes later or 30 seconds earlier, we might not have met them. We all want to figure out who we are. As Bob Dylan says, hey, everyone's their own creation, just create it. We all want to know what that is. The affirmative, way to go forward, how to play offense. But I found that's hard, man. That's hard. What's much easier, and I think the reasonable first step to figuring out who we are is let's define who we're not. Let's pick out those people, places, things we do, habits we have that don't pay us back, that don't feed us tomorrow, that don't give us green lights in the future. Those investments that don't have ROI. Those ones that we keep waking up tomorrow and a little bit of a debit. Damn it, I got a hangover. I had the same amount of drinks at that bar as I have somewhere else, but I got a worse hangover. Well, maybe it was the conversation people we were hanging out with. Eliminate those, and by process of elimination, sheer mathematics, you end up with more room for the things that do feed you. So it's a much easier thing to start pointing out, you know what? I keep doing that and it doesn't pay me back. I'm not getting my compounding asset on that decision or those people, places, and things. Eliminate those, and by sheer mathematics, we end up with more of what does feed us and pay us back, who we are. Making choices so that we can engineer green lights, and then sometimes they're mystical. We love green lights. They're the left lane of life. No speed limit, window down, T-top open, cruising. We got our direction and a full tank of gas. Let's roll. We love them. We're in the right line at the supermarket. We're in the flow, as it's called, right? Things are working out. Sometimes we're not even conscious of it. We were just in line and on time. Yes is the answer, and we're choosing the right things. But it's investments that we make, choices we make. I noticed in writing the book that a lot of successes I had were engineered by habits and choices I made that had consistency. That's what I call a science to satisfaction. I believe there is a science to satisfaction. I noticed what I was eating, who I was hanging out with, when I was going to bed, how I was approaching the day. There were consistencies that led to times in my life where I had more joy and more success, was catching more green lights. I also noticed times where I was in a rut through my journals of, you veered from these tried and true habits that you had that were leading to success and giving you more green lights. Ooh, let's get back in our lane over here. And sure enough, more success and green lights I started to create for myself. We also get those mystical green lights where we're just, man, there's no reason, but there's a lot of rhyme. We met the right person, and damn it, if we'd have left 5 minutes later or 30 seconds earlier, we might not have met them. They might not be married with the family we have now, or might not have got that job if we wouldn't have been just right there on that time, crossing that person, going through that door as they were coming out. So true. Those don't make any sense at the time, but when you look back, they connect the dots to right where we are. And that gets into more of the art of living. So that's why I call it the science of satisfaction leads to the art of living. And what we're going to do on 24th is try and get under the hood to go from the approach that I gave a lot of in green lights more into the process and tools to engineer more green lights, find that science so we can get better at the art of living. I get out to Hollywood with a couple $1,000 in my pocket. I got a movie out, Dazed and Confused, which is really the only resume I have. It's enough to get me in a few doors, but it's not enough to be a lead pipe cinch. But I need an agent. I'm in Hollywood. I'm sleeping on this guy's couch, Don Phillips. The guy I met in a bar in Austin who gave me the chance to go audition for Dazed and Confused over a year earlier. I'm on his couch. My money's now into the 3 digits. I'm below $1,000. I'm starting to get a little like, I've been there a few weeks. I'm like, hey, Can you give me an agent meeting? And he snapped at me. You need it too much. This industry, Hollywood, smells need. You're one and done, buddy. What you need to do is get the hell out of here. Go with your buddies and go ride motorcycles somewhere. Hell, pick Europe, I don't care. But go somewhere till you quit needing it so much, because if Hollywood smells you needing it, you're done. You're never in. And I did. I put on a backpack with my $800 and I went off with my two good buddies, Rory Cochran and Go Osborne. We rode motorcycles through Europe. I came back. I wasn't even thinking about an agent. I was what he called, now you're cool again. Now you're cool. And I was rolling along, and he's about a week later, after I returned, we're sitting there at dinner. He always made filet mignon and then had a scoop of Haagen-Dazs ice cream for dessert. Oh, he's done. He's since moved on. I love talking about him. And he goes, you're ready. And I go, for what? And he goes, tomorrow morning, we got a meeting, William Morris. You're going to go down. And I was like, oh, cool. Now, 5 weeks earlier, if he'd said that, I'd have been like, okay, good, man. I got this. Okay, I need that. I would have gone into the meeting. They would have smelt my need. They would have felt my need. I'd have leaned outside of myself. I would have oversold myself and probably dorked out and used too many words and not have been myself and over leveraged myself. And they'd have been like, I'm not sure this guy's really, he's kind of wants it too much, needs it too much. And instead I went in, believed in myself, had a presence about me, didn't oversell myself, but really let them know, no, I actually think you need me as an agent. And that made me a more valuable asset to them. I got an agent, and then, damn it, my first 2 auditions in Hollywood from that agent, I got the job. This goes for my love story with my wife, Camilla. Mm-hmm. When I met her, when I saw her move across the room that night, I had just come to a place spiritually where I was like, you know what, Matthew? Your dream is to be a father. You may not get married. You may have kids. Now, something about that dream and my relationship with God, there was a grace of God saying, that's okay if that happens. So for the first time in my life, I was like, it's not ideal, but I will be okay with that spiritually. And as soon as that happened, I went from this, looking for her at every damn red light, in the produce section, everybody I met, maybe. I was hunting, I was needing, I was looking for that mate. I wasn't near as attractive. As soon as it came to me, like, you may not meet her. And can you be okay with that, with yourself, Matthew, and spiritually? And as soon as I was okay with that, I had a presence. I was now able to receive love from somebody. I was able to see somebody, and they let them see me. And that's when she showed up. That's when she came into my life. When I quit hunting, when I quit rubbernecking at every red light, looking like maybe the car next to me, maybe that's her. Huh? So happiness, as most of us are taught, or most of us see it, myself included, is result oriented. If then. If I get this, then I will be happy. If I reach this goal, then I will be happy. It's almost like a ta-da moment. If I get enlightened and spiritually, then I will be namaste, whatever it is. And over in my own life and from other mentors and wise men and women in the world, there's no ta-da moment. There's no hill that you get to the top of and you go, finally, I did it. Because what do you see? Once you get to the top, and that 1,000 other hills, or another one that's taller that you're like, oh. So you immediately upgrade your iOS of happiness and you project it into the future again for another hill to climb. So it's a moving target that you're constantly chasing. Now I'm all for the chase and the setting of goals to go reach and the writing of headlines early to tell your story towards that. But what I've noticed is joy is more the verb. Joy is the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying the process of the doing. And if we can get out of our mind that there is a finish line, and just enjoy the race and chase ourselves in this race and go, the best we can do is get to the end of this life and say, look back and go, well, I didn't make it to the top, but how many stairs did I ascend? Or how wide did my stairs reach? Or how deep did my roots grow? Just tally it up. Hopefully we're in the black. Hopefully we're in the asset. And if there's life after this, hopefully the prime mover's going, well done. But I mean, I think that's as good as it gets. Or if we can get, but we're never gonna get perfection. We're never gonna reach 100. We're never gonna reach the top of that staircase. And that is what we call happiness, that we keep bumping forward. But if we can enjoy the process along the way, I find that you don't reach lower levels than if you just chased happiness. You actually reach the same levels or more, and you had a pretty damn good time on the way. Unbelievable. Geez, we throw that around. We use it, we call awesome things unbelievable. We thought beautiful, we call unbelievable sunset. Wow, so beautiful. Unbelievable run. God, what an athlete. Unbelievable athlete. Wait, they just did it. Unbelievable, we're going to war over there. Unbelievable that earthquake happened. The beautiful and the tragic side, we throw it around loosely. And it's silly because we're removing ourselves from reality. We're living, unbelievable lets you live in a false extra credit. You don't appreciate the miracles and the beauty of everyday life, and you don't give credit to the evil mankind can possess. It's a fool's word. Nothing is unbelievable. It just happened. And if there's one thing, and when it comes to people, when we use it with people all the time, oh man, unbelievable. Gee, he stood me up. He stole my cash. And there's one thing you can depend on people being, it's people. The things we will do, it's not unbelievable. It just happened. It's a fact. So it's about getting rid of that word and giving more gratitude and testament to the things that we see that are awesome in our lives, the great play, the great success, the great beauty. It's also giving credit and looking in the eye the tragedies of the world and the things that the evil mankind can possess. It's not unbelievable. We better sober up. And in that truth, I think we deal much better. Unbelievable kind of lets us off the hook. Look, I don't like failing. Do I have a certain fear of failure? Sure. But I tell you what keeps me up at night. Not knowing. Not finding out. That sucks. I can't sleep. That regret. And as much as I don't like failing, I know that I would rather fail and have found out than sit there and stay up at night pushing, going, it was right there. Why didn't I? That makes my molars crunch in my sleep.